The family installed security cameras, which they say captured video of 34-year-old Sean Hubbard back at the home Saturday night, firing through the front door.
That's the man on camera walking up to a family's front door and pulling the trigger. Nobody was home that time, so nobody got hit, but a few hours later he came back and somebody was outside. By the end of that night, 19-year-old Kamaria Tidwell was dead on her own lawn, and the only reason any of this started was because of one phone call about a car.
My baby was an angel.
Shafania McCullough says her daughter Kamaria was a sweet girl who always kept to herself.
Before we get into what happened on Mount Gallant Road in Rock Hill, South Carolina, you need to know who this family was and how a regular mechanic ended up turning their whole world upside down. Because this story is not just about somebody losing their life. It's about a mama who saw the danger coming, called the police more than once, tried to pack up and run, and still ended up burying her baby girl. Kamaria Tidwell was 19 years old, and her mama, Shafania McCullough, kept describing her with the same 3 words in every single interview she gave. She called her loving, compassionate, and kind. And that was her baby, her youngest child, the one the whole family called the angel in the family, because that's exactly how she moved through the world. She was the quiet type who kept to herself and loved on her people, never the type to start no problems with anybody.
She's gone. My child will never come back. And she was so innocent. She was the angel in the family.
Her mama said Kamaria was bright with a whole future in front of her, and at 19 she was just getting started in life, the kind of daughter every mother prays for, and the kind of young woman who never deserved what came to her. Now she's gone over something that had absolutely nothing to do with her in the first place. So how does a quiet teenage girl end up shot dead in her own front yard? It all started with something so normal it sounds crazy when you say it out loud, because the family just needed somebody to fix a car. According to what the family told the news, they met a man named Sean Hubbard after they found him on Facebook and hired him to come fix a car on the property. That was the whole connection right there. He wasn't a family friend or boyfriend or a neighbor with a history. He was just a mechanic somebody pulled up on social media, the same way folks find people to do work every single day. Nobody in that house was looking for trouble or knew this dude beyond the car job he was supposed to be doing. But somewhere in that work, things turned sour between Hubbard and the family. The police haven't given an official reason yet, but family members believe the whole thing started because Hubbard got upset over some kind of contract agreement about the car. Now this is where things stop being a regular customer dispute and turn into something out of a horror movie, because Hubbard didn't call back to argue, he didn't pull up to talk it out, he didn't even show his face to fuss about money. What he did was way worse. And the part that's gonna mess with your head is that what he did first should have been enough to put him away before he ever got the chance to come back and finish what he started.
They say the violence started Tuesday when bullets came flying into their home.
He shot 4 shotgun rounds through my son's room, and my son and my grandson were laying in that bed.
For a week straight, he stalked my family's home.
Tuesday night is when the nightmare kicked off. The family was at home doing regular family things when out of nowhere bullets started ripping through the walls of their house. 4 shotgun rounds came tearing through the bedroom where Kamaria's brother was sleeping next to his little boy. A grown man and a child laying in bed while somebody is outside emptying a shotgun into their room. Both of them could have died right there that night, and nobody would have even known who pulled the trigger. Nobody got hit by the bullets that night, but the damage was already done because the fear had set in deep. The family knew right then and there that something was very, very wrong, so they did what anybody would tell you to do. They picked up the phone and called the police, made a report, and let the officers know they thought it was the same man who had been doing work on the car. From that moment on, the family was sure that help was on the way and that the system was going to step up and do its job. But what happened over the next few days is going to make you sit back and wonder how this man was ever able to walk back up to that same house and finish what he started in the first place.
For a week straight, he stalked my family's home.
After the shooting, the family installed security cameras, which they say captured video of 34-year-old Sean Hubbard back at the home Saturday night, firing through the front door.
After Tuesday's shooting, the family was rattled and they knew they couldn't just sit there hoping it was over. So they went out and put security cameras up all around the house. Because if this man was bold enough to fire 4 shotgun rounds into a bedroom with a baby in it, there was no telling what he was capable of doing next. And the family wasn't about to get caught slipping again. That decision to put those cameras up is the only reason we even know how this whole thing went down, because what happened next got caught on tape for the whole world to see. Saturday evening around 8:30, the new Ring camera the family installed captured a man believed to be Sean Hubbard walking right up to the front door of the house and firing a weapon at it. And he did it in broad daylight, like he didn't even care who was watching him do it. The family later showed the footage, and you could see this man walked into their yard in broad daylight and shot at their front door, bold as can be. Nobody was home when he came that time, so nobody got shot, but the family pulled up the camera footage soon after, and one of Kamaria's cousins recognized him immediately because she knew him as the man who had recently done work on her car. That's when it hit them that this wasn't random and this wasn't no mix-up. This man was actually hunting them. They called the police one more time, and to be fair, the police did show up. Rock Hill police say they sent a whole team of officers out to work the case, and they were doing what they could with the information they had.
So our officers responded. We had 8 officers respond to that initial shooting call. They started working it. We worked it for an hour and a half. During that time, we identified a potential suspect who's the same suspect in our murder.
8 officers came out and they worked the scene for an hour and a half straight with a suspect description, a vehicle description, and even a known address that was tied to Hubbard. They linked up with the York County Sheriff's Office to go check out that address, but when they pulled up looking for him, he wasn't there because he was already in the wind. Meanwhile, back at the house, the family was in full panic because 2 shootings had hit them in less than a week, and the man was still out there somewhere with a gun, and they had no idea where he was at. So they did the only thing that made sense in that moment, and they started packing up to leave, trying to get out of that house before he came back for round 3. But they were too scared to do it by themselves, so they asked the police to please stay with them just long enough to get their stuff together and get out.
I asked them, could the police stay here till me and my family got up some stuff and find out where we could go, because clearly we was not safe here. Because this man didn't care. They told me they could say, let one officer stay. He went across the Helens and sat there. And he probably was there 15 minutes. And he came in the yard and he said he had to leave.
One officer, that's all they got. And according to the mother, that one officer sat across the road for about 15 minutes before he came back and told her he had to leave. 15 minutes was all the protection they got while they were trying to save their lives. And once that officer pulled off, the family was on their own again. Rock Hill police gave their side of the story too. According to Lieutenant Michael Chavis, they did try to keep officers in the area, and they had patrols rolling around looking for the suspect vehicle the whole time. He said they continued to circulate and look for the car, but unfortunately he managed to come back. That last part is the line the family can't shake, because just a few hours after that officer left his post across the road, Sean Hubbard pulled up to that house one more time, and this time, somebody was outside.
Just hours later, video allegedly shows Hubbard walking up from the side of the home, eventually out of view, firing his weapon, killing Kamaria before running off.
The cameras caught him again, only this time Hubbard came up from the side of the house and moved out of view of the camera before the shots started ringing out. Kamaria Tidwell was outside her own home when those bullets found her, and around 11 o'clock that night, police responded to a shooting call at the home on Mount Gallant Road and found her lying on the ground with a gunshot wound. By the end of everything settled, the angel of the family was gone forever. And here's the part that really cuts deep when you really think about it. Police later confirmed that the 19-year-old who was shot and killed was not even the intended target. She just happened to be outside that night, and she just happened to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. The whole beef wasn't even with her, but she's the one who paid the price for a grown man's tantrum over a car.
That's when police say they got a second call about the homicide. 34-year-old Sean Hubbard was arrested and charged with murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. The Tuesday before, the family says they'd called police about a man who'd shot at their home. Police tell me that a crimes investigator was assigned to the case. Police say they kept an eye on the home, sending out additional patrols.
After Kamaria was killed, the manhunt picked up quick, and the police didn't waste any time hunting Sean Hubbard down. Rock Hill police, working alongside the York County Sheriff's Office, were finally able to track him down and put him in cuffs, and once they had him in custody, the charges started piling up one after the other. According to Rock Hill police, Hubbard was charged with murder in Kamaria's death, but that wasn't the only thing they had on him, because they had already connected him to the Tuesday shooting too, the same one where he shot 4 rounds into the bedroom of a man and his son. So he was also charged with shooting into an occupied dwelling for that incident. The charges didn't stop there, because he was also hit with possession of a weapon during a violent crime and discharging a firearm into a dwelling for the earlier daytime shooting that the Ring camera caught. They threw the whole book at this man, and the judge agreed that he was way too dangerous to be back out walking the streets, so he remains in jail without bond, waiting on his day in court. The evidence the prosecution has on him is no joke either. They have the Ring camera footage that shows him walking up to the front door with the shotgun in his hand. They have the shotgun shells they pulled from the bedroom of the Tuesday shooting. They have the vehicle description. They have the family witnesses who can identify him. And they have the cousin who knew him from the car job in the first place. When all that evidence finally gets laid out in court, this man is going to have a very hard time talking his way out of any of it. But none of those charges are going to bring Kamaria back home, and none of it is going to undo what her mama had to live through. Watching her baby get killed over a car job is the kind of pain that doesn't heal, and the family is not pretending to be okay about how all of this went down either. The family keeps saying it was 3 times, 3 different moments where they believe the system could have stepped in and stopped this man from doing what he did, but each time he slipped right through the cracks. The first time was after the Tuesday shooting when nobody could find him. The second time was after the Saturday evening shooting at the empty house, and the third time was after they begged for protection while they were packing up to leave.
My daughter was bright. Had a future ahead of her. 19 years old. Humble. You wouldn't have met nobody better than her. Now she ain't here.
Listen to how the mother talks about her daughter, because this part right here is what really sits with you long after the story is over. Now she ain't here. 4 words that say everything about what this family lost, and 4 words the mama probably plays in her head every single day. She doesn't hold back her feelings about the man who took her daughter from her either.
He's pure evil. I want justice. This man took my daughter's life.
Pure evil is what she called him. And when you look at the full timeline of what this man did, it's hard to argue with her on that. Because what kind of person fires a shotgun into a bedroom with a child sleeping inside over a car job? What kind of person comes back days later and unloads on an empty house? What kind of person waits, hides in the bushes, and then walks up on a teenage girl outside her own home and pulls the trigger on her? This wasn't somebody who lost his cool one time. This was a whole week of stalking and decisions where he could have walked away at any moment but kept choosing to come back. And the saddest part about cases like this is that we've seen this exact same story play out before. Back in October of 2022, down in Suffolk, Virginia, there was a 30-year-old man named Rakeem Scott who took his car to a shop on West Constance Road to get some work done. A 43-year-old mechanic named Ronald Richardson was the one working on it, and the two of them got into an argument over how long the repair was taking. That argument turned into a fight, and that fight ended with Richardson pulling out a gun and shooting Scott multiple times right there at the shop, leaving him dead on the scene over nothing but a disagreement about time. Richardson got charged with second-degree murder and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and he ended up in custody just like Hubbard is now. Different state and people, but it's the same exact story with the same exact ingredients. A man who feels disrespected over money or work, a customer who just wanted their car fixed and to go home, and a gun that ends up in the wrong hands at the wrong time. That's the pattern that keeps showing up in case after case, and too often by the time the system catches up to it, somebody innocent is already gone. For now, Sean Hubbard sits in a jail cell with no bond, waiting on a trial that's going to lay out every single piece of evidence the police have on him, from the ring camera footage to the shotgun shells to every witness statement they gathered along the way. But for Shafarnia McCullough and the rest of her family, none of that is going to fill the hole that was left when Kamaria Tidwell stepped outside her own home for the last time. She was 19 years old. She was the angel of the family, and now she ain't here. What do you think the police could have done better? Let me know in the comment section.
Go. Go, Captain. Okay, go do the dance. I'm doing it no more. Oh, go do the dance. Come on, okay, Cameron. Go.
Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.